right, the time has come, Evan Bevins. I have been excited about this all day. I went through every single one of these cards and looked at their pixel variant and pulled up that nice pixel avatar. Got a big, solid screenshot. And legitimately, first off, I guess, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to get into our top 5. Evan Bevins is going to explain it to you. What is our ultimate goal here?
So we are going over the top 5 worst pixel avatars.
Yes.
I am probably the foremost proponent of pixel variants in Marvel Snapdom. Some people hate them. I love them. For the most part, I don't know that there's a lot of bad pixel cards, but there are some bad pixel avatars. And sometimes I'm amazed at what they do with these pixel cards, with the detail they get into. And other times it's more like what you'd expect, but a lot of those aren't meant to be viewed up close. They're meant to view from farther away, where the shortcuts they've taken to render some of these features aren't as obvious. But when you focus on part of it or blow it up on your screen when you're trying to make a list, some of the mistakes can be really magnified.
Meant to be seen from afar.
Some of these are meant to be seen from afar, although in a few that doesn't help them either. Now, obviously, to demonstrate this, I have gone through and done my own pixel art to show how it could have. No, of course not. I haven't done that. I can't
You're an artist.
do it. So I'm not mocking their skill. I love the pixel variants. I like that there are pixel avatars, but not every pixel variant is an avatar, and not every pixel variant should be an avatar. I think what we're going to endeavor to bring to you is somewhere between 5 and 10, probably not 10, because I bet we're going to overlap on at least one of the ones that should not have been avatars.
Right. So here's what I did, kind of give you an idea of what you're about to get into. I got my top 5. I had 37, and we've got to do honorable mentions at the end of this thing. I won't go through all 37, but I'm going to pick out some highlights of some that I was just like, what in the world? So we're going to go down from 5 to 1.
Okay.
And
I did go through all of them. I think I had about 12 to call.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if you have...
Including some I didn't know existed until I checked SnapZone.
I will start out with number 5, and I gave each of my pixel avatars a name.
Okay.
We're going to start with the Shartinal. As you can tell, the Sentinel's avatar here looks like he made a mistake. He thought something was going to happen, and it turned out to be something completely different. Therefore, my number 5 is the Shartinal. He looks surprised that something happened that he wasn't expecting.
I think he's just realized he's the target of an 8-bit fastball special.
Oh, no! So, yes, I took the Sentinel. I mean, my goodness.
Kitty Pride phased where?
He does not compute. It does not compute for him. But anyway, there you go. That's my number 5. I'm really curious if we'll have any overlap on this, but there it is. The Sentinel's gonna be my number 5.
Okay. Now, I'm not going to argue against yours, but I will say where, at least in this one, we differed some. Because while, yes, once you pointed it out, that facial expression is priceless and one I would like to see on various Sentinels in Marvel Comics, it's still recognizable as a Sentinel, and it conveys an emotion. It is recognizable. Mine, and a lot of the ones on mine made the list because they were not recognizable.
Yeah, that's interesting you say that, because there were plenty of times where I was like, gosh, you just cannot make anything out here. At some point, they start getting better because they realize that a lot of these early pixel avatars, not good. I feel like they finally figured out, oh, we might need to put some eyes on this guy. Oh, it'd be a good idea to put a little pupil here.
It also made my list because it's the wrong facial expression for what's going on, but ultimately it was still recognizable and the mistake was recognizable. My number 5 is one that is recognizable, is Daredevil. The only note I had on it was zoom out. I didn't even remember that Daredevil had a pixel variant, but I bet at proper scale, this looks like Daredevil. I mean, you can even make out the horns there. But what I can't make out is if he's got a large cigar.
Stogie smoking Matt Murdock is what I had it listed as at one point on my list. He got pulled off of my list.
A hockey puck that his radars didn't warn him about. If we look at this from a distance, it might not be so bad. But this just looks like an oversized cigar, which seems like a bad idea for Matt Murdock in general. He may be blind, but his other senses are very much enhanced. And you do not need to be jumping up or even crouching dramatically on a rooftop with a cigar of that size tripping off your sense of smell.
Secretly, Jack Kirby under the mask. All right.
So
good one.
I return your screen to you. Well, I guess I didn't have to because we're going with my number 4 now. Number 4, this character is also somewhat recognizable. I've seen her. I've used her. I don't use this one very much, even though I like the pixel variant, because I've read this character in the comics. I know her and like her even more from the movies, and she's usually pretty fun. But this one just looks like something bad happened to Mantis.
Oh,
I don't expect, I mean, she is somewhat recognizable. They do have the antenna in there, and I don't expect a great deal of detail, but like one eye is much higher than the other one. It's not like she's at an angle, or at least it doesn't look like she's at an angle. Maybe we got spoiled because some of the pixel variants are just really good, but this one, I don't know.
Her face is all
I don't
sideways. I do not know what's going on with it.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, on this one with it zoomed in, it actually looks a little better as an avatar than as a full-on image, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just looks like something melted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Mantis is not a synthetic being or metallic, so I don't want to think about her melting like
Honest
this.
to goodness, if you look at that, if they would have just mirrored what you have on the right side onto the left, it would look fine. It would look perfect. If you just take out that one little white blob, I know they're trying to get perspective across to us here. That's why the left side of her face is a little lighter than the right side. But if you just took that whole left side and then kind of just mirror image, I mean, this would be a perfect picture.
But yeah, I mean, that, again, I know you can't get too detailed in the pixel stuff, but this...
Something went wrong.
Someone's eyes were that separated, and I'm not making fun of like someone who's actually had some sort of horrible accident or whatever. That's what looks like happened here.
This is Phantom of the Opera Mantis. This is definitely...
Yeah, Mantis of the Opera.
Mantis of the Opera.
There you go. Yeah, maybe if she could just get... But you know what? She couldn't even wear the Phantom of the Opera mask because there would still need to be an eye hole, and it would still be askance... from not parallel to where the other eye is.
Man, not pixel perfect. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, eye patch wouldn't help either. It would just call attention to it.
Yeah, she was close to being on my list there.
I think the only thing that's going to save this is Photoshop.
All right, we're going to move to my next avatar, which I call Where the Hell Is Your Face? If I can get it this.
I made mine.
There's nothing there. I don't know what's going on. It could be a belly button. That could be her mouth. I think her eyes are up top and the mask is coming down. I know what I think they're trying to do here. If you saw this, if you were facing it, I don't know why you would pick this as your avatar. I like the pixel hella. I think it looks awesome, but my gosh, you cannot tell what in the world's going on with this avatar. So... yeah, Where the Hell Is Your Face is my number 4.
It looks like she's very surprised. You know, the small O, like, ooh.
No, dude, that is Mac and me right there all over. All right, so there's my number 4. Let's go to my number 3. And I feel like this is going to be, we're going to cross over here because I think this was your very first thought when we were talking about this a couple days ago.
It was almost my number 3. Yes.
All right. Should we hold that off?
Hold that off. It made it a little higher up on my list.
Then. All right. So let me go ahead and stop sharing here, and then I'll go ahead.
I am a little surprised by that.
Yeah, it was really close.
That was number 1, and then I'd find some others.
Dude, wait. I have such a justification for what I've got for number 1. It blows that one out of the water. So, all right.
I don't know, man. It wouldn't surprise me if we had the same one, because I will tell you that my number 1 did not take me long to find and was never challenged.
I can't wait. This is why I was so excited all day. I was like, oh, man, this is going to be so fun. All right. I'm adding you back to the stage so you can go to whenever you're
okay.
So we're going to your number 3.
Number 3. All right. My number 3 is one I did know this one existed. Doesn't really appeal to me as a regular variant. I don't think there's an avatar for every pixel variant, so I'm not sure who went, you know what we need? We need people to be like, this is my face. And just the idea that somebody thought that was hard for me to absorb. This is the absorbing man, but you'd be forgiven for mistaking him for Cyclops, the ancient Greek variety.
Oh my gosh.
There's one eye visible here, or it could be a hole. His teeth are almost as big as Matt Murdock's stogie.
Oh yeah, it's bad.
The pixels for his shoulders are the same color as the face, kinda. Actually, you know who this reminds me of?
Tell me. Sagat from
Yes.
Street Fighter.
Yes. But he was a 16-bit character, and Crusher Creel here ain't sporting that many bits.
No, he is not. Looks like he bit off more than he could chew, though.
Wow, that worked on so many levels. He appears to be resting on a cloud. I'm not going to criticize the black shoulder because perhaps he absorbed something. But yeah, you've got this one bulging eye and a cavernous socket that also appears to be a crack across his face. And then I just don't know. Okay, give me another point of reference for the eye. I guess it's supposed to be in shadow. I don't know what happened here. I think one of the first things I read with the Absorbing Man, maybe the first one, was where he was fighting the Hulk, and he had turned into rock or something, and the Hulk broke him, and he was like, well, I can't turn human now. It looks like he had absorbed and transformed into something strong, but if you hit it hard enough, breakable, and then he just went human again.
Gosh. Oh, man. Yeah, I remember seeing this one going, I think this might be a contender for the list. The proportion of everything is not good. Just like you said, we got an eye here. I thought he was wearing sunglasses at one point. No, he's got an eye patch. No, wait a second. That's not the case. It's just...
that's the thing. He looks like Sagat, but I can't tell you which side is on.
Yeah, right.
Which kind of makes sense because if you pay attention to that game, his eye patch shifts eyes depending on which side of the screen he's on.
Right.
Which side of the... So, yeah, that's pretty spot on. Yes, Carl Sagat Creel, the Absorbing Man. It's like he took several Tiger uppercuts to one side of the face.
Tiger! Yes, he did. Well,
I don't have to stop sharing my screen. You can just boot me off then. Okay.
Let's go ahead.
Fewer opportunities for me to mess up.
So, yeah, you can sit there and stay still. Then we both talk about my number 3 and your number 2. All right, so here is my number 3. And when we talked about this a couple days ago, you knew exactly who you're like, oh, this has got to be the one we talk about. And
I knew it would be on both our lists.
I would like for you to go ahead and explain your thoughts on our pixel avatar of the Punisher.
This avatar is for the Punisher. I think the first time I saw it, were you using it, or maybe somebody else was using it?
I know what you told me.
I saw somebody using it, and I was like, my initial thought, and this isn't going to be what you were thinking of, but this is the evolution here. Okay. My initial thought was, how'd they get a pixel avatar of the Beyonder? Because I think when you take the nameplate away, there's something that suggests his disco suit.
I can see it.
Firmly in the 80s. And then I'm like, no, well, we know there's not a Beyonder card yet. So it's not that, and it looks like It looks like Dylan McDermott. That's what I thought of next. But Dylan McDermott, if he was on an episode of Dateline and people didn't want them to know it was Dylan McDermott.
It looks like...
So it's like a bad pixelation job.
Oh, it looks like someone is playing Tetris with his face.
It does not look like Frank Castle. That hair is very clearly gray.
I just don't understand what we are trying to pull off with the big brown L in the middle of his face. I assume it's shadow because, looking at it from afar, you can maybe make out a nose and then the mouth. But up close, it's just one big brown backwards L. Right smack dab in the middle of this dude's face. I don't know what's going on with his eyes. Sometimes the shading, just don't do something like this. This is horrific.
I mean, there's stuff on fire behind him. I can see the Punisher walking away from burning buildings. But yeah, like you were saying, it doesn't have to be precise with pixel art. You're like, is that his nose? Is that his mouth? Is this Gonzo as the Punisher? What's happening here? If you want to do the Punisher, I don't remember what the full variant looks like, but how about just the skull?
Oh my gosh. Perfect. There is one...
Pixel Punisher skull would work.
I use the Crossbones avatar, pixel avatar, quite a bit. And that one, all it is just a close-up of his face with the mask that he has on, and it looks awesome. So, yeah, it can be done. It's not his whole face. Actually, I think a lot of the ones with masks work.
I think so.
Anything else on the Pixel Punisher?
He was my number 3 for a while, but I bumped him up because this was the first pixel avatar that we just couldn't get out of our heads.
There's lore involved here, for sure.
And like I said, there's nothing in this image except the flames in the background that suggests Frank Castle to me. He looks more like Quicksilver than the Punisher.
All right. Well, then I guess I go to my number 2. And my number 2 is what I like to call Pixel Hobgoblin.
You really worked hard on that name.
Pixel Hobgoblin.
Oh, okay. There you
Pixel. I could have done a Mike Tyson impression, but I probably would have failed at that. Pixel Hobgoblin. So, yeah, I mean, come on.
I'm not laughing.
There was...
In case Mike Tyson ever hears this.
Mike Tyson, the biggest Marvel Snap material fan we've ever had. So, yeah, I mean, I'm going through and I'm like, nothing's going to beat the Punisher. Nothing. Then I was like, oh my gosh. This does not look good. It legitimately looks like he got punched in the face and lost his front teeth. That is...
Well, at least we knows what he wants for Christmas.
I'm sure that's probably his tongue. I don't know if they're trying to get Demo Goblin vibes off of this, but I don't think we're at that point here. It looks like he's missing his front teeth.
You don't have the impression that this avatar is touched by demon taint?
No. Yeah. Who was the, oh my gosh, was it Mackendale? I can't remember who was the Hobgoblin that turned into Demogoblin.
I didn't know what it was either of them. I don't know a lot about Demogoblin. I just know that he showed up like every 5 minutes in the 90s.
So Demogoblin was Hobgoblin. Hobgoblin went to Nastier during Inferno and asked for demonic powers. And Nastier was like, okay, yeah, sure, here you go. And then turns him into a demon too. Mackendale should have went to Nastier and said, I want my teeth back.
Hey, when you make a deal with a demon, you've got to sacrifice something.
All right, so there it is. That's my number 2.
This Hobgoblin sacrificed resolution.
That's the truth. Are you ready for my number 1?
I'm ready for your number 1,
All
and
right.
I won't be surprised if it's the same as my number 1.
Okay, here we go. Number 1.
Oh, no.
I do not have any idea what the hell is happening in this picture. I have
From
no
this angle,
clue.
it looks like somebody's wearing a... It looks like
Sombrero?
the leader got himself a sombrero.
I mean, the infinite a clue as to what the hell is going on. This maybe looks like a sombrero. I can maybe make out a face here, but it looks like somebody with a purple mask of some sort. I don't understand any of what is in that avatar. Not a clue. Is this one of those forest for the trees things where I need to step back?
No.
If you look at this avatar down here, it makes a little more sense. He's got a green face, and he's got. I know, the card that we usually see. He's like in some big astronaut suit, isn't he? Because he's like an infonaut. No, he's an astronaut, infonaut, whatever. So I just, man, I could not. This is the only pixel avatar that is completely undiscernible for me. Like, I have no idea what's going on. If you would show me this and didn't have the name, I would be like, okay, what luchador variant is this? Because that's the vibe I'm getting. But yeah, I went with Infonaut for my number one.
I'm not sure quite what it's supposed to be. I immediately got sombrero with little Christmas ornaments hanging off of it. So yeah, I can't argue with that. It didn't jump out at me for some reason. What I am surprised by is that my number one didn't make your list at all. You said the problem with that one for you is that it's unrecognizable. The problem with this is that it is recognizable, and it looks like poor Agent Coulson was in a transporter accident.
So
the only semblance of a face we have is an eye.
He was on my list, legitimately sitting at number 6 right now. He got bumped off by everybody else, but he was at the top.
I have this pixel carding. I love pixel variants, and I love Phil Coulson. I can't, this haunts me. Oh. It's like he's asking me to play a destroy deck with him so I can put him out of his misery. It's the scene in Star Trek: The Motion Picture where there's a transporter accident, and I forget if it was Dr. McCoy, but somebody said, fortunately, whatever came out didn't live long. Mm-hmm. There's an eye, and every time you think you can make out part of the rest of the face, there's a dark spot that might be another eye, but it's not in the right spot. And then there's like a dot that could be a nose and a mouth, but then what are those other dots? Mm-hmm. And we talked about Manus. If you just shifted one of the eyes, there's nothing that can make this better. I don't understand. There's so many of these other pixel things that you're like, wow, how can they convey that much in so little space? And this just makes me profoundly uncomfortable. He's staring right at me. That one eye follows me everywhere, and I don't know what it's trying to say to me. Angry? Is he in pain? Is he frightened? Is he happy? I don't know. I don't see how he could be. But it's staring right into my soul.
He's got a big old jaw full of big league chew.
But where did he put it in?
He's just like...
Which of those dots is his mouth? Is either of them his mouth?
Yeah, it's Goiter Coulson. I don't know what's going on his face there, man. It's not good. It is not good. Oh, yeah, dude, he legitimately was on my list at number 1 at one point, and then I started going through some of these, and I was like, oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that one's a good one.
He looks worse here than he did after Loki killed him in the Avengers movie. He looks like he was in better shape then, after he died.
Oh, man. That's good stuff. Counting them down from 5 to 1.
I did have one other one that made my short list. Although I didn't even realize that this one existed.
Oh, yeah. What in the heck?
Not sure what's going on with Adam Warlock there.
Wow.
I didn't watch a lot of Max Headroom, but it looks like a bomb went off behind Max Headroom. Not sure what's going on there, but I mean, Adam Warlock, we've talked about the card. If anybody can stand to have a not-so-great variant or avatar, Adam Warlock's got plenty of variants to choose from to make him feel better. So I can understand if the Pixel guys were like, oh, we're not going to.
Right.
Or maybe, I don't even remember seeing the whole Pixel one. Perhaps it looks great, and this was just one that shouldn't have been given the avatar treatment.
I don't know. He was.
Okay, I can tell you my others that almost... The one that struck me that I ultimately didn't put on the list because it was too recognizable was Professor X. With that mischievous little grin.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I can't think of a time when I can't think of one time when I would have thought of Professor X looking like that, and I don't want to think about it. It does not feel recognizable for Professor X. Another one that almost made the list but ultimately got bumped for being too distinct is Bullseye. It doesn't look like Bullseye. It looks like somebody killed a Buzzy Beetle from Super Mario Brothers 3 and made holes in its shell to see through.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I know what you're talking about. Okay, here we go. Sharing my screen. We'll just go down the list as I listed them. We already talked about Infinite, Hobgoblin, and Punisher. We then have
Allegedly.
right there he is sitting at number 6. Agent Coulson. Shartnell got moved up there.
And that Coulson, not to beat a dead horse, it looks like he got beaten.
He was
A little farther away, I can make out a little bit more of a face, so the distance helps some. But I mean, that full variant, I'm just like, no, why? What? Someone help him! And quit looking at me.
Oh shoot! All right, so here's Apocalypse. I can't make out if that almost looks like the bottom part is like his jaw. Mahjong Homestar Runner. That's my feeling. Zola is funny. Beast is not having a good day.
I'm not gonna lie, I like that Beast.
Up close, he's a bit scary.
As is Hank McCoy if you catch him on a bad day.
Black Cat, talking about undiscernible features. Black
Cat was on my short list.
Black Widow, just a strange look. The Blob
looks like Mary Jane.
Yeah, the Blob was pretty scary. There's your bullseye.
There's
Captain Marvel. Cannot make anything out, and Dagger. Usually this stuff.
They could be any blonde woman.
Yeah,
both of them look. They want to see your manager.
They struggle when it comes to human faces. There's your Daredevil, Deathlock. Deathlock's like complete. I mean, he's not happy.
In fairness, Deathlock's face is pretty messed up.
This is an interesting one. When you look at Debris' pixel card, she has whites to her eyes. Her avatar does not. I don't know what the choice was and why that was the case, but it's scary. Dr. Octopus. Ebony Maw looking like a gray morph. Elektra sitting down here, which I
saw the Ebony Maw one, and I forget what I called it, but he didn't make my list. Trust me, it was really funny, whatever I had to say about it.
Trust you. Again, we get into undiscernible stuff here. Hawkeye, Iceman. Null is kind of, it's a little tough. Korg looking like he need to brush his teeth. Bro needs to brush his. Actually,
if he had any.
This Lady Deathstrike almost made the list for me. It was really hard for me to keep her off of there, looking like Susan Sarandon with a cap on. I don't know what's going on with her hair. And then we got Pickle Face Leader.
Leader, I thought about, but then I ultimately was like, you know what? That's the leader. His forehead's too small.
Okay, I'll give that to you. And then we got what? Leech.
He's got a little bit of Sentinel face going on. But it hasn't quite dawned on him. Something feels wrong. But he's not sure what.
Mantis. Maximus, too, was not so great.
To be fair, he looks more like the Beyonder than
Frank Castle.
Identity obscured Dylan McDermott.
Right. Mirage looking like a Cabbage Patch Kid. That's the only reason she's on here. Multiple Man was looking rough. Look at his face, dude. Yeah, not getting good treatment here either.
Pinocchio was on my short list.
Now, how this one, this is top notch. Orca here with the face inside a face. That's scary.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Quake, she wants to see somebody's manager too. And then we got The Thing. I could probably see Ben Grimm making this face at some point, but I don't know.
Like, the lighting's off. It feels like that's the face you would get if he was holding a flashlight under his chin telling a scary story.
Right. And then I had Thanos on here. You can kind of make him out pretty easily.
That's like Camp Counselor Thanos. Like, okay, we're going to have a great time. Lights out in the cabin at 10. Don't forget to say goodnight to Lady Death.
Oh, man. So there it is. That's on mine. I think I actually went through all 37 there. Honorable mentions. What a fun top 5 this was. Had a good time. I think the next one we got to do a variation of this, which is the top 5 best avatars. There are some really good ones out there. Like I said, a lot of the ones with masks are pretty cool. They're few and far between, but there's a ton of pixel variants.
I'm glad that they're there. As soon as we can trade variants, I'll give you all my chibis for all your unwanted pixels.
Love it. All right, Evan Bevins, tell them where they can find you at and what you do.
Well, asterisk51.blogspot.com. I'm hoping to be getting some Christmas content out. I may reshare some stuff. For instance, if you've ever had trouble understanding the new element subplot of Iron Man 2, it might help you to know that there is a real life parallel, and that is The Muppet Christmas Carol, which is the culmination of Charles Dickens' vision. It's a classic book for a reason, but it needed the Muppets.
It needed the Muppets. I love it.
I was so impressed by how faithful they were to the original material, or at least they appeared to. I did actually read A Christmas Carol because I wanted to see how close, and a lot of the dialogue and stuff is recreated in the Muppet Christmas Carol. But at one point I was convinced that it was Disney who made the Marley Brothers into one person, and that there really was a second Marley brother in Dickens' original story named Robert Marley. And it wasn't until many years later, even after I realized that there was only Jacob Marley, that I got why the brother was named Robert.
Bob Marley, sir.
So yeah, last year I'll probably be resharing that one. The Muppet Christmas Carol is a real life Iron Man 2.
I love it. All right.
And then I have written about, and you and me and Chris Armstrong have talked about, Marvel 2-in-1 number 8. I won't say it's the best Christmas comic book ever produced, but it darn sure is my favorite. I've got a few others I'm working on for this year over at asterisk51.blogspot.com, where you can also find hashtag Free Comic Friday, hashtag Dollar Tree Cinema. One of these days I'm going to have to introduce Dollar Tree Comics, because those used to be few and far between. And then DC was like, hey, what if we just gave people a bunch of #1 issues for real cheap and hope they bought some more of them? I got to do that. One day I'll have to get back on carrying the banner for Ravage 2099, since some 90s focused podcasts won't even acknowledge that he existed.
I didn't know that was something. That's crazy.
So there you go. And then hopefully soon over on the Magazines and Monsters channel, you can hear me and Billy, a.k.a. Doc Strange, and Ed Moore talking Marvel fanfare.
That's right.
The first issue has a rather distinctive Christmas tale in it.
Oh, does it?
Yes, it does.
Fantastic.
If you ever wanted to see a grim and gritty Daredevil Christmas, I can point you in the right direction.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen, you can go check out the Source Material Comics podcast. Right here is where the feed is. If you're already listening to this, you just stick around. You could probably hear all sorts of stuff from the Source Material Comics podcast. Me and Mark Radlich right now are getting ready to discuss future episodes. He went on a Grant Morrison kick, and we...
Not a bad place to go.
Sometimes, sometimes you get Happy. That was great. Happy was a great read. I had a fun time. I'm all for hyper-violent, silly stuff. Grant Morrison can write.
Especially at Christmas time.
Oh, yeah. Then we get to Nameless. And the only thing that I can possibly compare it to is Event Horizon. So if you've seen the movie...
Actually, I think I saw an issue or two of that at that sale I was at.
If you've seen Event Horizon, it's about a ship that goes into another dimension, what we find out is hell. It's a scary movie. It's pretty gory. It's pretty gross. And that's essentially what I feel like is happening in Nameless. Finish that, and then we're getting into about 2 issues left of Joe the Barbarian. I think the kid is suffering from a diabetic episode and an insulin shock, and then all his toys come to life.
I got 1 issue of that.
It's okay.
I don't remember much.
I'm enjoying it. It's not anything groundbreaking. I don't think it's as good as Happy, but it's way better than Nameless. So,
well, he did have one that I want to go back and read. But when you talk about hyper-violent, if you've ever wondered what a hyper-violent version of Homeward Bound: The Incredible Journey would be like, check out We 3.
We 3. Never heard of it, but I assume...
A dog, a cat, and a rabbit turned into government super weapons. Try to go home.
All right. Well, Grant Morrison. What a character.
He also wrote the lead story in the DC Batman Deadpool crossover.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. All right.
It was pretty good.
Okay.
will change the way you see the original Marvel DC crossover.
Ooh, really?
Great interactions between Batman and Deadpool, and brings back a character I forgot existed, but that I really should have seen coming.
Hey, speaking of 90s comics, go check out the Unspoken Issues podcast where we talk 90s comics. We just don't talk Ravage, $20.99. And then, of course, Snap Material. You'll hear us next month, I'm sure. We're coming back. I don't know what the next season's going to be, but we'll be
It has
here.
something to do with dragons. It does.
Oh, wow.
Finally getting that Fin Fang Foom card.
Lockheed card.